What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for clicking on today's video. Congrats on making it to day 3 of the Keto Rewind Clean 30 challenge. It is currently dinner time. I just came back from my walk. Don't forget to move your body. Felt so good to get a 5-mile walk in. It has been a while. It's been a couple weeks since I've done real exercise, so it's been nice to get back in that routine. We had a great day today weather-wise, so out I went for a nice long walk. So I'm gonna walk you through what I had for lunch today, and then what we did for a snack, and then I'll meet you right back here at dinner time. Remember, the Clean 30 challenge is meant to just be inspiration. You don't have to follow it word for word. If you are a more seasoned veteran when it comes to keto, use this as a time to get tightened up in areas that maybe you can improve on. Use it for inspiration. If you're new to keto, just take it all in and do your best. So anyways, let's go walk through what we did for lunch earlier today, and I'll meet you back here to make some dinner. Okay, so here is lunch today. I threw a little bit, like a teaspoon worth of sriracha on the, hot sauce on top of my eggs. So, and then seeing how that, when you cook them like that, it makes them fluffy. I kind of like a Gordon Ramsay style. So I got fancy, and then obviously 3 slices of bacon. So I'm gonna flip the camera around. I'm here in my garage, and I will show you one of the new gadgets that I'm trying to learn how to use this year. So let me flip the camera around. Okay, so who remembers rollerblades? My kids got roller skates for Christmas. I got rollerblades. So I'm gonna get a lot of leg workouts in and start rollerblading again. And my favorite thing is my slam ball. This is a 40-pound slam ball, which means, let me put my camera down so I can show you. So yeah, the full slam ball workout is gonna come soon. I've ordered a bunch of smaller workouts. You can do it completely at home and have like a at-home gym with your slam balls. So I can't wait to tell you what I've found. And it's such an easy at-home workout, and I'm gonna do a routine for you. So stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, I'm gonna make my keto coffee. It's the afternoon. I aim for about 30-ish milliliters, I was a little over, of heavy cream, 1 scoop of unflavored collagen, and that's black coffee, obviously. And I have this pretty much every single day regardless. It's my afternoon treat that I look forward to, and just before I'll have this just before I make dinner, typically. Or I'll have it while I'm prepping dinner. So anyways, I'm gonna take my little frother and mix this around and enjoy my keto coffee. Now, you can make your keto coffee however you want to. You don't have to do collagen, you don't have to do cream. This is just how I make mine. So let's go on to dinner. It is now 6 o'clock and we're going to make dinner. Tonight's dinner is so easy, and I was going to show you how simple. You can use fresh broccoli, but when I showed you in the pantry staples, I always keep frozen vegetables on hand. For 1, it's cheaper. 2, I don't waste as much food at the end of the week. I have go-to items in the freezer that if I don't use them, they're still in the freezer and they didn't spoil, versus like a fresh produce where sometimes things happen and you don't end up eating what you purchased. I never have the waste issue when it comes to using frozen vegetables. So also it's cheaper, and you can see how easy it is to whip up this dinner. This dinner will maybe take 20 minutes to make. It's that simple. We're gonna put some broccoli in the double boiler and steam it. You can use a microwave if you want to cut this time even shorter. And we're going to take some top sirloins and throw them on the grill. Again, you can pan fry, you can oven, you can put this meat in the oven. It doesn't have to be grilled. You do you. So anyways, let's flip the camera around so you can see exactly how I make tonight's dinner. Okay, so I have this tray of meat. I get it from Costco. These are top sirloins. I like top sirloins because they're fairly lean, and I'm gonna put them on the grill, and then when they come off the grill, I'm gonna put a butter sauce on them. just to help with the fat content and just overall with some flavor. We, as a typical family of 6, I will normally just do like 2 pounds of meat, and it's so tender and so tasty. And the next thing we're gonna use is some frozen broccoli. So if you're logging or trying to figure out how much vegetables to have, you turn it over, you can see there's a guideline for a suggested serving size. For 1 cup of broccoli is the serving size. I personally double that because it's broccoli. It's a great source of vitamin C, and I just love broccoli. So I typically will do 2 servings for me and Kyle and my dad, and for my mom and my 2 kids, they'll get 1 serving. So I'm gonna take that number and then I'll get that total weight, and that's how I'll know how much broccoli I need. I'm gonna take my scale out. I'm gonna go get a strainer. Okay, so I'm gonna take this strainer basket, set it on my scale. Meanwhile, on the stove, I have my water boiling, but 85 grams per person. And then remember, I'm doing an extra serving, my dad and Kyle. So that's 6 servings right there, plus 3 extra servings for my mom and my kids. So that's a total of 9 servings of broccoli. So what we're looking for is 765 grams for total weight of broccoli. So I'm gonna put my strainer on my scale, and we're gonna dump enough broccoli until I hit 765 grams. So that's 230 right there. So we're gonna open up a second bag. Now we're up to 689, so I need just a little bit more from an additional bag. And that's why it's nice to use frozen broccoli. You can use what you need. I could have also boiled this or steamed this right in the bag, but we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way and do stovetop. So next we're gonna look for another, all right, and there we are, 765. And I'm gonna reseal that, and now that is what is gonna feed the 6 of us. And I'm gonna put this on the stove and also write down the total amount of broccoli that I used, and then that will help determine the macros. Okay, so we're gonna make the sirloin steaks, and I'm gonna talk about quickly a marinade for the steak. Now, steak by itself doesn't need anything other than salt and pepper, in my opinion. However, and so that would be the most clean option, salt and pepper. However, I do take it up a notch. This is how I've always made my meat. I like to smother it with plain old yellow mustard and Worcestershire sauce. Now, most of it's gonna cook off, but it does add some flavor in it. The Worcestershire sauce does have sugar in it, but it's very marginal, and we're not gonna use that much. So if you're super strict and that's just one thing you don't want, just know that this does contain sugar. Just mustard tastes fine on it, but I just wanna talk about that. So we're gonna butterfly these top sirloins. So Kyle's gonna help me do that. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and have Kyle show you how to butterfly the steaks. Come up here.
You're gonna walk. Ooh, wow. It's way down there.
All right, so
you're
gonna help me butterfly these steaks?
I'm gonna help you butterfly these steaks up.
All right, let's flip the camera angle around here. Okay, so the first thing is there's way more meat than what we need. So we're gonna roughly do 3 of these 5. Probably the small one and 2 big ones. So roughly about what, 3 pounds? 2 pounds?
It's probably gonna be about 2 and
just
a half,
a little over 2. Okay, so the next step is we are going to butterfly the steaks. That just helps cook them a little quicker. And it's a real nice method that you might want to try to make those steaks nice and tender.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off, you see these little pieces of fat and connective tissue here on the edges. I tend to take those off so they don't burn. So just some slight trimming on these to start off with.
And I'll measure how much we took off weight-wise to get the new total. Guess we should have weighed them after we were done trimming them. But that takes 2 seconds to get a new weight, so no big deal.
Go. And then I just try to go right down the middle of these so I have an even thickness on each side. And after the first cut, just gonna work your way down slowly. Hand out of the way here until
it lays flat.
It lays flat.
So don't cut all the way through. Just enough where that center part allows it to lay flat like a book.
And you're going to have a little bit of connective tissue in there, depending on your cut.
And there you have it. That's a butterflied piece.
And now we're butterflied.
And repeat that with the other 3 pieces.
I'm going to do that with these other 2.
All right, now that we have them all trimmed up, we're gonna get a new weight. Okay.
We're at 0.
Try that again.
Let's try this again.
All right, 0 up your scale, put your meat on, and we are at 2 pounds, 7 ounces. So that's gonna be our total weight when we go to enter this in, and we'll revisit that number and make sense of it. So now that we are all trimmed up, let's season it. We're gonna put mustard on all over it. Mustard has like nothing in it other than vinegar and some seeds, so don't worry about measuring mustard. I never measure yellow mustard. Yellow plain mustard.
There's pork butts too.
Yeah. Yeah. And what temperature do you usually put these on the grill at?
I normally cook these around 500-ish.
Around 500 degrees or so on a grill?
Yep.
All right, mustard's done. Next we're gonna do Worcestershire. We're gonna finish the bottle. We apparently are at dangerously low levels. Probably about a tablespoon of Worcestershire per piece of meat. FYI, like just a quick guess or so. You can totally measure this, but most of it's gonna cook off, in my opinion. I don't stress about this part.
Just adds a little bit of flavor.
Just, yeah, it's mostly for flavor. And then finishing it off with salt and pepper next. I got a new thing that holds all of my spices. It has salt, pepper, and garlic all in this. So here's the salt and then the garlic's right there. So cool, huh? Another Amazon find. You know I love those Amazon kitchen gadgets. So anyway, salt and pepper each side. Pretty self-explanatory. And then we're gonna pop them on the grill around 500 degrees. And meanwhile, on the stove, we're steaming up over there our broccoli. So that you wanna steam it until your desired doneness, and then I'll revisit our butter sauce for that. And then, of course, salt it. Salt it to taste, don't be afraid of salt. Okay, so I'm gonna now make my butter sauce. So Mom's here in the kitchen, she's making a cheese sauce, which we're not having. for her and the kids. Now I really try to limit my dairy this month. So as much as I'd love the cheese sauce on top of the broccoli, we're just gonna have butter. So I'm gonna put about a tablespoon of butter per person on the broccoli, and then I'm also gonna make a butter sauce to drizzle on top of my steak. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and let you see what we're doing. All right, so I'm just gonna take Kerrygold butter. You want a high quality butter for this because it's a way to get your good quality fats in. So this is a lean cut of meat, so to get fat, I'm gonna use the Kerrygold butter. So we're gonna do about a half tablespoon per person. So I'm gonna need 3 tablespoons of butter for the butter sauce. So 1, 2, 3. And I'm just gonna put that in a microwave safe dish. And I'm going to also add a little bit of garlic. Probably a solid 1/4 teaspoon. And then some Italian seasoning. And those herbs, we're gonna make the butter nice and tasty. And I'm also gonna do some more pink salt. A good 3-finger pinch. And I'm gonna microwave this, and that's our butter sauce for the steak. So I'll be right back. And with the remaining amount of butter, we're going to just dice this up, and we're gonna drain our broccoli and basically do broccoli, butter, salt, and pepper. And that's how easy the steamed broccoli is. I mean, it's definitely one of the easiest sides you can do. And if you don't like broccoli, do cauliflower, do green beans, do asparagus, same method. So easy. So I'm gonna strain the broccoli and let's head over to the stove. So our broccoli is ready to go here. So all I'm gonna do is take the pan here and empty it. All right, put our pan back on the stove. Put our butter in. Put our broccoli back in. Season it with salt and pepper to taste. Here's some salt. You don't need too much because the butter is already salted. And then some pepper. And I'm going to just take a spoon and mix it up. And this is just already ready to go. Soon as the steaks are off the grill, we have our broccoli. So I will meet you back here when the steaks are all done. Alrighty, steaks are off the grill. Doesn't that look delicious? Now, I always wrap them in foil just so they can rest in their juices before we slice into them. But now we're curious how much the weight difference is versus the raw versus cooked. And remember, it was 2 pounds, 7 ounces raw. And now the weight is, after they've been cooking, they're now, all 3 pieces of steak are now down to 1 pound, 13 ounces. So they significantly shrunk. And that's why it's important to be consistent. If you're going to measure in raw, measure that in raw both ways. Don't do raw and a cooked. So now we're going to dice it up, and I'm aiming for about 5 ounces of steak on my plate. So let's plate everything. All right, let's plate everything. I have 5 ounces of broccoli cooked, and I'm going to do 5 ounces of the sirloin also cooked. And I just always, once it's cooked, I usually go with the same amount. Always, whether it's chicken or beef, I'll go with 5 ounces. And now I'm going to do a little of that butter drizzle on the top. That just ups my fat content a little bit for the day, and that is the finished product. So sirloin with a butter sauce and steamed broccoli with also butter and salt and pepper. Delicious. Enjoy. Okay, so here is my day for my macros. I had a great day. I ended up 14 of my 22 calories, 8 of my 19 net carbs, and pretty almost spot on my protein. So I had 3 scrambled eggs, and I did a half tablespoon of butter, 3 slices of my bacon, it was actually my homemade bacon, and a serving of roasted pecans that I made as well. And then dinner was 6 ounces of steak, 6 ounces of broccoli, and 2 tablespoons, because there was a half tablespoon was in the butter drizzle, and the other 1.5 tablespoons was over the broccoli, the steamed broccoli. And then I also had my heavy whipping cream and unflavored collagen in my coffee for a snack. So overall, another fantastic day.